Did you know that the average teenager spends 16.7 hours per week online, and nearly half have reported sharing their personal information online with a stranger? For the next few minutes, we'll discuss digital literacy and safety. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Trainum, and I'm joined by Stephen Balkam, CEO of the Family Online Safety Institute. Stephen, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
I think most people are trusting, right? And so if someone online says, what is your name, what is your address, I think most people probably would put that information in, not knowing A, that that is not a good thing, but also B, that this stranger could take that information and do significant harm.
Right. I do think, though, things are changing. I do think that the messages are getting through to our kids and even to us as adults who are often very trusting ourselves. In our research that we recently did called the Digital Generation Gap, we found that as much as 80% of teens were setting privacy settings on social media sites like Facebook, which is very, very encouraging. In fact, we believe that teens are doing it more than their parents.
Why do you think that's the case? Because one would think that their parents would clearly be much more cognizant of those type of activities.
Look, I have a teenage daughter. She loves her privacy, all right? So, and they see that a lot of the parents and now teachers are also on Facebook. So they are looking to find ways to ensure that they can have private conversations with their friends.
Stephen, talk to us for a few moments about digital citizenship. What does that mean? Who came up with this terminology? And do we all have a responsibility to become very good digital citizens?
Yeah, it's a new term, and the notion is, and here's how we describe it. It has a foundation of safety, security, and privacy as a sort of foundation. Based on that is what we call media and digital literacy, how the machines work, and a way to determine the content that's flowing through them. At the top of the tree is this thing called digital citizenship. And for us, it's our rights and our responsibilities online. So our free expression rights, our rights to assemble, free, religion and so on. But with those go responsibilities. And that's the part that perhaps we haven't embraced quite as well as we could.
Whose responsibility is it to educate us about our rights, but also, just as importantly, our responsibility online? Is it the family? Is it the school? Is it the government? Is it a nonprofit entity? Who is it?
Yes, all of the above. In other words, what we describe as a culture of responsibility includes enlightened government public policy, first of all, well-resourced law enforcement, industry best practice, providing us with the tools and the privacy settings. But then the parents, the teachers, and the kids themselves all have differing but overlapping responsibilities.
You know, it's interesting, Stephen, because as a child, I remember sitting down with my parents, do not answer the door to a stranger.
Right.
If someone calls the house, you have to be very cognizant of who you're speaking to. Do you believe that ultimately it is the parents' responsibility to set those basic ground rules, or to your earlier point, is it the whole culture overall or community?
Obviously, parents play the key role. As you buy your son or daughter a cell phone, you have a moment, maybe 30 seconds, to have a teachable moment before you hand that phone over and say, look, these are the rules of the road. We have a family safety contract on our site at FOSI.org where you can go through the cyber do's and don'ts with your kids, and we highly recommend that they do.
Well, and speaking of which, I highly recommend for the folks at home, grab a pen and piece of paper or your PDA and take down this website again. And you said it so fast.
FOSI.org, FOSI.org.
And it's online as well at the bottom of your screen here. We got about 30 seconds left, Stephen. Any other words of advice and wisdom for the new parent out there that is really struggling with technology and with their child?
The best parental control mechanism there is talking. Talk to your kids early and often. And by the way, they now have tablets for 2-year-olds. So you can't be early enough.
Stephen Balkam, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Trainum. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.